The price of a dozen eggs may be leaving you shell-shocked. Egg prices have jumped more than 25% in some markets. That has many consumers doing double takes in the checkout line. In our exclusive report this week in Louisiana Agriculture's A.J. Sabine follows the egg from the hen to the home to show us exactly what's driving up prices.
Everyone knows you can't make an omelet without breaking a few eggs. But for Mark Dixon at Another Broken Egg Cafe in Baton Rouge, this container of beaten eggs is breaking his budget. It's costing him 25% more to make this omelet these days. He's hoping the slow economy and higher fuel costs don't kill the goose that laid the golden egg.
So we went from about $15 per case of 15 dozen, or about $1 a dozen, to almost $25, $28 per 15 dozen. Almost saw a doubling of the price, so we're going to $2 a dozen at that time. Right now we're back down to about $20 for a 15 dozen case.
Dixon goes through about 800 dozen eggs here at Another Broken Egg Cafe, and while folks come in to get fueled up with tasty entrees like the works, his suppliers pass on expensive fuel surcharges on every invoice that comes into the restaurant.
Egg producers are feeling the pinch too. Michael Ehrman is general manager of Cal-Maine Foods, the largest egg-producing farm in the country. Feed prices, transportation costs, and increasing minimum wage rates are contributing to a higher cost per dozen.
Here in the past 2 years, we've seen feed costs nearly double. Every $5 an increase per ton, we see a 1 penny increase in the cost per dozen. This is mainly due to the demand for corn for ethanol.
Demand for corn-based ethanol is only part of the problem. Mike Bove is the vice president of procurement for Associated Grocers. He says while fresh eggs offer the best value among protein sources, getting those eggs to your table isn't exactly easy.
The U.S. dollar is very weak, so there's a lot of being exported. So there's a supply and demand issue out there. There is low return for the farmers in almost every area, so you see production is down low.
Which means it's consumers who will ultimately bear the brunt of higher food prices. Baton Rouge grocer Calvin Lindsay says that's because all of his other costs have increased as well.
My rent's gone up, my utility bills have gone up, labor's gone up, so I have to pass the cost on, to the public.
Back in the kitchen, Dixon's crew cranks out the cuisine. The downside to higher food cost is,
I think everybody sees it. You can go into a grocery store today and you're going to pay almost $5 for a gallon of milk, where a year ago we were paying $3.50.
It seems things just ain't what they used to be. For This Week in Louisiana Agriculture, I'm A.J. Sabine.
The chain Another Broken Egg recently closed one of its Baton Rouge locations. Mark Dixon says he's doing everything he can to absorb higher costs, including possibly making his Mandeville restaurant cash only, which could result in a $3,000 savings.